Hello, sisters. I'm a young pastor with a small congregation. When I started my pastoral journey, I decided to settle down to avoid the temptation to fornicate. I got married to one of the young ladies in the church. We abstained from sex all through our 6 months of dating till we eloped. We have been married for 2 years and have a 6-month baby. But my wife, since we got married, always finds the slightest excuse to visit her mom, and when she does, she sleeps over and sometimes stays there until I persuade her to come back home. This was going on until she got pregnant, and when she did, she got stuck there with the excuse that her mom was helping her to prepare for the baby. Now, after the baby, my wife refused to come home. I don't mind visiting them occasionally, but, sisters, a man has needs beyond meals. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Out of frustration, I engaged my mother-in-law to help me find out what is it with my wife. My mother-in-law tells me that my wife says sex is too painful and she can't bear the pain that I inflict on her in bed. What's all this? If sex is painful, then how are we doing this marriage thing? I remember she brought this up once, and since then, I have tried to be very gentle with her. Sisters, divorce is not an option for me because I don't want to set a bad example for my young congregation. I love my wife, and I need her back home. It's been tough for me. Apart from God, whom does a pastor speak to without encountering embarrassment? Please help a brother. What should I do? Did I make a mistake in marrying a church girl? I'm human. I need some excitement in bed. And I really need this to work somehow. Sisters, what are your thoughts?
You know, the part that tickled me the most, the way he's confident that he's gentle. You know, sometimes when...
No, it's true. It's true.
Call a spade a spade.
Let's call a spade a spade.
You know, sometimes in the excitement and the heat of the moment, you think you might be gentle, but you're not being gentle.
Exactly.
You are really being aggressive because in the heat of the moment, you are not thinking. It's the action downstairs that is thinking and being vigorous at the time because you want to arrive safely at Mount Sinai.
Exactly.
This Mount Sinai. we need to explore it.
You know, honestly, I have a feeling that sex the first time was not pleasurable, and I hate the way sometimes our mothers bring us up because they bring us up with the notion that, oh, a bad dear, you shouldn't be open about sex and stuff. I always say this: if I'm not going to enjoy sex with my husband, then what's the point? The thing is that I intend to enjoy it to the over 1,000%. If I'm not getting it from him, why am I going to get it? I'm not going to get up from the bed and then go to the next person and go and complain and say, oh, my husband didn't. You better give it to me, and me, I will hunt you day, noon, and night. We are doing it till I get there. And we are talking. If it is food, I will cook so that the things will get up, and you know, if it's whatever I need to do to make sure that I will enjoy my sex in the confines of marriage. My marital obligation. Hey, me Jaco Didier. No. So, honey bunny, listen.
Honey bunny, this is a deep conversation.
I knew she was going to take this. Right?
I love this. You know, listen. You see, sex is everything in marriage. And it saddens my heart that it had to take her mother telling you. She didn't tell you. Because in your submission, you did say that you've had the conversation before, and she admitted to you that, you know, it's painful and you're aggressive.
Rough, yeah.
So I don't know how many sexual partners you've had prior to her. From discussions with friends, right, what I hear is that sometimes the men feel like, oh, you know, they've got it all going on, and the women actually fake it. So you don't know how many times she's been faking it to you, and you probably think that, oh, there was this story my husband told me, right? So there was this girl who was dating this guy, and apparently the guy was, I'm just veering off a little bit, apparently the guy was not that, you know, endowed. And the guy who broke her virginity was a Musa. When I say Musa, like, I no disrespect to...
Nothing really.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Shout out.
So this guy was endowed. Thickness, length, everything, you know, and this was the guy who broke her virginity. So how many years down the line, she meets this guy, and this guy too was an Oga. Apparently the Oga was doing it, and the Oga was going on, and then she was like, yes, Oga, yes, Oga, yes, Oga. Meanwhile, Oga's thing is like,
yeah.
you know, so she was faking it. So this is why all I'm saying is that you need to have an honest, open conversation with your wife. Leave the kids with grandma. Right?
Yeah.
Take her out for a romantic dinner. Women love it when men are empathetic of them. You do the house chores. You text her steamy, sexy text messages. You know, you take her back to basics. You know, take her out, sit her down, romantic dinner. Buy flowers if you don't have money for flowers. Don't buy flowers. Titi flowers, man. Take her. Me, I like watching. You know what she likes and you know what she doesn't like. Just get her to be in a happy mood and then massage her feet. Talk to her, ask her, babe, this thing is sweet me, oh, your thing is sweeting me. Let it sweeten all of us. So what can I do for you to enjoy sex with me? Because my intention is not for us to divorce. I intend to enjoy you for the rest of my life. Let her know that she's the best thing that ever happened to you. And then when you are being intimate with her, when you are kissing her, watch her body language. When you are touching her in certain ways, ask her, speak to her, tell her that there should be no boundaries. This is no mommy daddy conversation. This is me and you. Do you like it when I touch you like that? How would you want me to touch you? How would you, tell me how you feel, because my intention is to make you enjoy sex in marriage. It's not to torment you. Be open to her and tell her that you don't care. You would rather, and I mean, men, come on, tell your wives today you want her to be a virgin, tomorrow you want her to be a prostitute, and she will be. She will give it to you just the way you want it, so that everybody is happy. It's not a matter of, oh, what say? So you leave your wife who will pretend to be sister Okonko in bed, and yet go for an ashawo who will be turning and twisting and twerking. Exactly. So get what you want from your wife so that you can enjoy your marriage. And so you have that open, honest conversation. You will have something in your mind thinking that you've got it all going on. But honey bun, you ain't got it going on.
All right. So talking about going on, let's move on to Rosie.
She's confused. Olivia has confused me. She's confused me. Like, I was wondering.
I just want to clap for her.
Yeah. She's confused me. Okay, so basically, this thing that I said, that got me in trouble. Okay, so normally men who have power, position, like he says, I don't even know how to go and confront people in my chair, that means he's somebody with a bit of an ego. And he thinks he has power, he has standing because he's a pastor of a church, right?
Yeah.
Or a leader of a church.
Exactly.
So now, a man like that, I'm thinking that probably he's not too open to correction.
At all.
He's probably not too open to correction. And this thing is a problem.
And he thinks he's doing it right.
He thinks he's doing it right. And most of them, and especially being a religious person, it means that being a pastor, he was holding himself so that he doesn't dote his things around the church members and all that. He was holding himself. Sometimes such people, when they finally get that woman that is finally theirs, they unleash everything.
The one in them.
That was in them. It's like, arise! Yeah, so it's like they have to, that they are cabaying and then they are caboing and then they are doing it because it's like bent up energy. So sometimes people who are married to these religious pastors, if they open their mouths and tell you what they go through, especially because they also cannot find themselves going out.
Exactly.
So you see that they put a lot of pressure on their women. Anytime they have a difficult, they cast demons. They have to come and relieve stress. So that is one side. The other side is that when she told her mother, you see, sometimes, I don't know, when you tell your mother that your husband's this thing is too big for you, I don't know why you to the mother, you are allowing your daughter to stay with you for days and weeks. I think it's so wrong. As a mother-in-law, as a father-in-law, when you have issues, you have to dialogue and find out ways and means of dealing with it. Occasionally, if you feel like your daughter is afraid, you can call your son-in-law man to man. In this case, you're not telling him that he has a small member. You're rather telling him that Charlie, he is solid. So it's not an issue about him feeling less of a man. If anything at all, it's about Charlie, my woman, my daughter is not yet there. So we'll plan to book a class. Now, when it comes to sex, listen. Some men think that sex is all about penetration. There is so much more to sex, especially for a woman. And if the woman is a virgin and doesn't know these things, sometimes even the initial act, if it is not pleasurable, and that first night of sex doesn't necessarily have to be penetral sex, especially when you know that the woman is a virgin. Sometimes you have to condition her mind. Look, get her to that point where her body is begging to receive you.
You are in the spirit.
Get her to that point where you are saying that, I think this will be too much for the first night. She says, no, baby, I'm ready.
Girl.
That is where you want to get your woman to. Now, when you get your woman there, knowing, because if you are well endowed, you know you are well endowed. So if you are well endowed, you know. So you too, when you are going in, don't go full like a train that has lost lost brakes. Go, you see, it's a process. Go slowly, and whilst you are going, so there's beauty in looking at your woman's face, looking at your man's face. That's why sometimes I don't prescribe to this light of doors closed, curtain doors. No. Even if you want a dim atmosphere, there should be some avenue of light so that you can appreciate the look on your woman's face, the look on your man's face, so that you can enjoy your woman, allow your woman to also enjoy you. And then her facial expressions, if she's enjoying it, those subtle smiles, the slight, frown on the face, the slight throw head on the back, the rolling of the eyes and all of that. You experience it, and then when you experience it, you know that your woman is enjoying this. Occasionally, when you see that discomfort in her face, you know that maybe it's a bit too much. Then you slow down. Now, when a woman tries to tell you that, look, babes, it's a bit too much for me, the fact that she has even told you in one sentence, know that it's a big deal for her.
Right. Like from that, I just feel like he lacks empathy.
Yes, it's a big deal for her, and it's a big problem with men. When a woman, your wife comes and tells you that, look, I have this problem, it is a problem. Because most of the time, women are afraid to tell men exactly what they think, especially when it comes to sex. You understand? Right. So when a woman comes and tells you that, look, this is a bit too much, I can't take it, you should be more attentive. And from then on, when you're at it, ask, are you okay? Is this okay?
It's fine.
Last but not the least, see, sometimes there are different kinds of women. Some have different degrees of getting ready and what it takes to get them ready.
Yes.
So for some, breast, for some you need to actually do the
and
there are also little things you can use, the gels,
the lubricants, very
water.
Important.
The lubricants, the lubricant, they have proper lubricants that are used for such things, so that even if your woman has a problem getting there so quickly, you can actually introduce some of these lubricants in your sexual life, so that it makes it easy for her to take you. Now, she's had a baby already. I don't know if it was a natural birth or it was a C-section. As time goes on, if you treat her right, she begins to get used to you, your size.
Right.
Because people who break their virginities with very big things, it was big. But as time goes on, they get used to it because that's what they know, to the extent that now when they encounter small things,
they'll be like, what is this?
What is this?
So
just take your time with the woman. Like Olivia said, tell your mother that, your mother-in-law, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. She has mentioned it before, but I didn't know that it was such a big deal. Now that you have told me, I have heard, I will sort it out with my wife.
Right.
But for this weekend, can the children come to you, take your wife and do the needful?
All right. Felicia.
Yeah, I appreciate everything my sisters have said, and I would touch base on intent and communication. Everything you guys said was like spot on. I think the stem of this whole problem was from his intent of getting married. First of all, he got married to avoid fornication. So it looks like his sexual drive
is more.
It's more.
It's more of a priority.
Yes, to him. So he should find a way to communicate this to his wife, to let the lady understand that, you know what, sex is crucial for me in this relationship, and this is how I want it done. 2, on the point of communication, I feel it's time for him to empower his wife to be able to also be expressive at home, verbally and physically. Because if she feels like your actions are painful and are infringing some sort of pain on her, why don't you allow her to take the lead? Madam, how do you want it done? Sometimes I always say this, there should always be balance in a relationship. Today, if your partner is 10%, you should be ready to give her 90 so that you achieve your 100% balance in the house. If they are 50, you should be ready to add a 50. So if your sex drive is 90, it's time to lower it down and allow your wife to catch up with you. There are days, just relax. It's not always that men should take lead in the bed and always feel like, I have to give to you. When it comes to sex, it's a give and take issue. You are both giving. Everybody is coming to satisfy the other partner. This is one thing I learned at a marriage seminar. You don't go in to take, you go in to give. And if you are both there to give, you achieve the desired results. Because I'm here to give my husband my 100%. I'm here to make him feel good. You are there to give your wife your 100%. You are there to imagine the fireworks you'll be creating in that bed. So it's time, it's time for you to relax and tell your wife, baby girl, today I want you to make me feel good. Do it your way and begin to understand how your wife also understands sex, so that you can find a way to level down to meet her up. So as she is rising to show you how she wants it, you are trying to level down to find a balance in your relationship. And it all boils down to communication, because if she's not able to express this to you, then you have a problem at home. What else is she hiding from you? Do you get it? And if you're a pastor, today I'll go religious. I believe you pray with your wife. You wake up in the morning to pray. Each day after prayer, ask your wife, baby girl, what? It doesn't even have to be daily. Ask, what can we do to make our home better? It shouldn't be a sexual relationship. It could be something else. Because if you're a pastor and you're not holding hands with your wife to pray, then there's also another problem at home. That is why she can't open up to you. Because I believe if you both hold hands, because you talked about marrying a church girl, it means you knew the kind of lady you married. If you can't hold hands with your wife every morning to pray to God and have some conversations between each other in that early morning or before you go to bed, then you are not married. You are just coexisting. I think that is how I see. So, gentlemen writing to us, go back to the basics. First of all,
date your wife.
Yeah, date your wife. Reboot. Change your perception about why you married. You have to do this for yourself before you can bring anybody else on board. Then 2, allow room for your wife to also express herself to you sexually. And go back to your principles. The basis on which this relationship was built, which was religion. Start praying together. Start sharing the word of God together. And start building your family on that foundation that you created.
I understand you, but we should understand that there are also different type of religious beliefs. Although they are Christians, there are different types of Christians.
Yeah.
There are different denominations of Christians. What if he's that type that feels like I'm the Lord and Savior over you. You can't say some things to me. Some people are in that sort of bondage in the name of Christianity and spirituality.
Yeah.
But
But hold on, but with this particular gentleman and the way he's texting, I think that even if he exudes that charisma, it's not intentional.
No.
It's more about his standing in the church and how the woman sees him
Yeah.
as powerful and the head of the house. So she's unable to break that barrier. Because a man like that will not even find anything wrong with that. He will just order the girl to come back to the marital home or else. So I think that it's more of his stature, his charisma, how he comes out. And the girl is also timid and afraid because he's just a church girl.
A church girl.
So the girl is even feeling like she's privileged to even be
marry a
married to
pastor.
somebody like him.
Exactly.
So she can't complain. So she rather escape to avoid the torture. So now that you know, I just try as much as possible to be human to her.
Hey, I agree.
To be her partner. To be somebody who wants to be satisfied and also wants to satisfy her. And once you bring her along, she will learn. She will grow. And
Olivia has
will
something to
enjoy.
say.
But I think that his intentions are right
Yes.
because he doesn't want to go out of the context of marriage.
Yeah.
And then secondly, has he ever sat down to ask himself what sexual position his wife actually likes? Because sometimes when it comes to intimacy, there's some positions that are far better for some partners depending on...
The wife was a virgin, so she doesn't have a position.
So
that
she doesn't have
have record.
So you now have to
why
take her
is she-
through
so
Kama
if-
Sutra
Yeah, exactly.
and learn
So
which
you
positions are
need to
better
be-
for big ones.
You really need to be patient with your wife because you need to make your bedroom a haven for her to want to be there 24/7. You should ask my husband right now. It's like Paul Ambantem or Chendi Kamfo. Like right now, every time because he was very patient with me. Right now, I over himself. I can't
right.
say some things,
All right.
I think, but it's because he was patient with me. So for a word to the wise, this is for me and my little experience. If you're patient with your wife, trust me, she will grow and blossom intimately that you will enjoy her and you even beg her to stop.
Ooh, I like that.
flower.
Anyway,
And
last one. Yeah.
Do we think they need a third person? Do they need help?
Of course.
Like somebody to teach them.
No,
are sexual counselors out
I
there.
think they actually need a therapist, but
I
he's
agree.
kind of like shy because he feels like I'm a pastor. I'm supposed. You see, that's the problem. Most times, pastors feels like they're supposed to be giving counseling. They don't need counseling.
They don't.
Exactly.
They need a whole lot of
so
counseling.
But I
at this
think-
point, he needs to just get out of
But
that.
I don't think it's time for a third party yet.
Well,
Really?
Reason being that you see, initially he did not know.
Okay.
You see, so now that you know, let's see how you deal with it.
If it doesn't work,
If it doesn't work, then you bring a third party.
Okay.
So
Right.
most of the time, I believe in like, let's deal with, let's
Work with
try
it,
and deal.
work on it.
If we try and deal and it's not working, then of course, bring the third party because this thing about suffering in marriage and be silent,
Hey, no.
it will kill one party.
All right.
So,
agree.
yeah.
Okay, sisters, thank you so much. And ironically, it's guys that sent letters today. Did you realize?
Yes.
No letter from a female. So the guys have been watching.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
trusting us, with your issues. And also, thank you for also believing that we can actually contribute to help you, find balance in whatever problems that you're going through. But sisters, a very big thank you to you two. And once more, you all look beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful for the start of the. She's giving us some adora. Hey, and so she's giving us agbaja. Well, if I leave you guys, this is going to turn to a cultural party. But then, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. It's time for us to take a quick break, and when we come back, I will be sharing my final thoughts. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Sister. And earlier on, I was able to share the letters with my sisters, and my sisters actually tried to help the writers find some solutions. And once more, I want to say a very big thank you to the writers because ironically, today was just all men sending in letters for us to find ways in helping them in whatever problem that you're going through. But now it's time for me to share my final thoughts. So on the first letter about, man having an affair with his cousin and even wanting to marry the cousin, first of all, thank you for sharing. This is really difficult. People don't really share. And now, secondly, I think you need to seek guidance. Seek guidance in the sense that you need to speak to family. It's time for you to go out there and make it open and say, okay, this is what is happening. What do we do from here? And maybe at that point, you need to take a pen and a paper and try to draw your family tree and know that, okay, do we connect easily? Is this my direct cousin? And of course, if it's your direct cousin, obviously, you know that it doesn't sound right. I mean, there are 30 million Ghanaians out there. And then if you use social media, there are more people out of Ghana that you can actually meet and then connect with, romantically, emotionally, and otherwise. But wanting to have an affair with your cousin, for you to even send it to us and, from the way you wrote the letter, that means there's something inside, there's a little conviction inside you, a little spirit inside you that is telling you that, this is not right. And if that voice is telling you that, I think you shouldn't venture into even trying to get married to her or even get her pregnant, all right? So, first of all, seek guidance, talk to the family, and let everybody know about it, and then you can, proceed to whatever. But from my side, like the sisters, if it's your direct cousin, you need to rethink that. Don't do it. And now, our second letter of, man having, in fact, pastor having a little issue with his wife because the wife actually feels pains anytime they have sex. From your letter, truthfully, I think you lack a bit of empathy. It's time for you to just calm down, listen to your wife, and be patient. You need to be patient. You need to be empathetic. You need to ask yourself, if it was me, would I enjoy pain in sex? So if you want to enjoy it, this is the time you need to actually calm down, because from your letter, you're asking, okay, what next? What am I going to do? I can't live like this, so this is not marriage, or in marriage without sex is not, calm down. You need to calm down and have some empathy and be patient with her. The sisters have actually said it, like it's very important to have that communication with her. I don't know what kind of relationship you have. I don't know if she sees you as a father, because some, especially the church relationship, most of the time, they see the pastors as a father and they can't really express themselves. So if it's that kind of relationship, I think you need to break the ice. Let her be able to express herself to you. She didn't need to go through her mother to talk to you. You are her husband, and you're her husband for a reason. And also, the sisters have said so many things, but we also forgot that, yes, that maybe it could also be a medical condition. Have you thought of going to the hospital? Have you thought of taking her to the gynecologist? Have you thought of that? No, you haven't. Or maybe you know only one sex position because maybe you're just a pastor. You're a pastor and maybe you didn't do other things. You've never been a bad boy before you became a pastor. Try other sex positions. Maybe somebody should sit on top. Cowboy, doggy, different kind of things that work. All right? So you need to explore. Try to watch some Kama Sutras and things, not to do bad things, but just, to spice up your life. And sometimes introduce toys. There's really nothing in introducing toys. Maybe something else will get her there. Something else will get her stimulated to get there. You never know. But some of you said, no, you don't like those things. Well, if you like it, you can try it. It's not a bad idea because it's still between you and your wife. So after going through all this, and if it still doesn't work, maybe next time you need to see a therapist or you need to see a counselor. And I would like to remind you that pastors are not counselors. So if you're feeling shy and saying, oh, how can, or who can a pastor talk to? You really need to reconsider. You can talk to people out there. There are specialists that can help you out there. All right? But thank you so much for sending in your letters. We really appreciate it. And anybody watching, if you think you have any problem and you would want us to read your letter and help you, find ways or solutions to deal with it, all you need to do is send your letter via sisterislive@gmail.com. And once more, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this. This is brought to you by Gino, because Gino truly cares. And it's the start of our Heritage Month. You're going to be seeing more. And we hope that you always tune in with us. My name is Chris Carter. This has been Sister, and you're watching City TV and listening to 97.3 City FM. See you next week.